All right, so I got asked to do the Fun Facts Challenge, and a good friend of mine, Thomas, and followed by Jock, they tagged me, and I said, "Man, I normally would not do it, but I was honored that I was asked to." And the truth of the matter is that Thomas is right. Sometimes, as not just entrepreneurs, business owners, people, women, I don't know what, we have so many amazing things that happen to us, or things that we've accomplished, and we distribute it here and there, but we really never just take one moment to give a 360 deep breath as to who we are and why we're great. I feel a way about doing this, so I'm going to ask you to just either cheer me on, say hello. My birthday is in 2 days, which is why I decided to make it a video, because I want to be able to remember this before I turn the next age. And here we go. I made a list of all of my accomplishments, and for the person who does not take the time to acknowledge their wins, I want this to be a challenge to you. I'm going to tag 5 people, but wherever this may land, let this be a challenge to every single person to identify their own quantifiable wins and be proud of where they are and where they have come. Before I tell you my list of things that most people don't know about me, I want to highlight and say this thing. I can't even begin to tell you the amount of times that I didn't believe that I was valuable, that I really thought I was like just dumb and worthless, and that I wasn't really valuable in anything that I accomplished. But half of the time, the reason why I wouldn't acknowledge my own wins is because other people would tell me that those wins were not enough, but they weren't enough according to them. So I say to you, before I give you my list, forget those people, forget all of them. Toot your own horn, be clear on where your value is. And Thomas, thank you so much for tagging me. And Jock, thank you so much for tagging me as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk through this, and here we go. I wrote them down so I don't screw this up. Okay, and if you're new to me and you're like, who the hell is this random woman with red lipstick and whatever, I'm going to say hi. You can say happy birthday. I'm gonna go thank you. So, oh my God, just like that. Okay, ready, here we go. So number 1, I have been a full-time entrepreneur for roughly about 18 and a half years. Full-time entrepreneur means I have paid all of my bills simply by my own back and me generating dollars. I had a handful of businesses. My very first business was in gift baskets. A lot of people don't know that. I knocked on doors and took a gift basket with me and got people in the state of Florida to entertain buying a basket for me that was a welcome basket. And if you have questions about it, you can ask me about it on this chat. But my very first business was a gift basket business. Today, I run 4 businesses. I run 4 companies, and I love them all. I don't think that there's one. There's one that I'm really proud of that hopefully at the end I'll be able to talk, and that's our story agency. That's it. I run fun 4 companies today, and that's it. Next, my next fun fact. I have over 20 friends that are millionaires. Now, let me tell you why this is such a big deal for me, because I mean, gosh, I started my business for the first time because I was putting my babies to bed hungry. Jada and Maya, I was putting them to bed hungry. Their dad left me high and dry. And I say high and dry. I was just telling the story the other day as I was looking at my birthday and thinking about my accomplishment, that I remembered on January 23rd about being in a truck and being driven by my then husband from Tampa, Florida, all the way back south down to South Florida, where my parents lived. And he knocked on the door, and he basically left me with the U-Haul truck in their front yard, in their where they lived. And he told them that I was their problem, and I was 8 months pregnant. And I remember feeling at that moment how alone and stupid and ugly and all this list of things that I felt. I mean, I didn't have a college degree or license or certification, and he made me feel worthless. And I struggled with that for years. And so if you've ever been in that seat before, you can just say, hey, Tiffany, me too. So for me, you know, one of the things he used to tell me all the time, and if you're listening because you still don't want to be found, one of the things he used to tell me all the time was that I was odd and strange, or that people didn't like me, and so I should be grateful that he liked me or that he acknowledged me. So what's really cool about this is I have 20 people who look different than me. They're men and women, and they're different ages and colors. And I didn't have to be a millionaire to become their friend. I was able to use myself and my story and my truth to become their friend, and they accepted me and loved me for me. And let me tell you one of the most important things about that fact. They're not just friends. They're all friends. And if I picked up the phone tomorrow and I said, hey, I really need to borrow $20,000, for the most part, I would say 18 out of 20 would write me a check and not think twice. And that for me is something that I dreamed of having, just real people who were in my corner. So I'm really proud of this one. Okay. So the next is I am a keynote speaker. So I'm a speaker, but that's not my business. I happen to speak on behalf of my mission, right? So I'm on a mission to tap into the world's untapped potential. And I have today spoken on over 300 stages in the world. I'm a global speaker. I am a paid keynote speaker. And one of the things that I think I'm most proud of, sometimes I hear people talk about their mission or their movement, and they're like, oh, I've spoken to all of these people, but I've spoken to a lot of people in person, but I've actually got down from the stage and I have individually talked to about 10,000 of those people, where I have hugged them, I have cried with them, I have laughed with them, I have shared with them, I have been with them in their stories and their truth. So the human data that runs for me inside of me as I help and coach and strategize on businesses and humans and next level and peak level performance and getting to whatever it is around the world is like no other. And I'm so proud of being able to earn the trust of so many people. And then more importantly, as an introvert, understanding how to tell my story to receive love and give love. So that's something I'm really proud of. Okay, paid keynote speaker. Okay, here we go. So next, I am, so the next one is, a lot of people don't know that we have produced over 100 events in the world. We have produced over 100 events in the world, global events. And this is a physical event in person, whether it's in the US or other countries in which people have paid anywhere from $2 to $2. Sweet Jesus. If we really had an event where someone paid $2, holy mother of Johnson, no. Or we have charged anywhere from, I guess maybe $200-300 to maybe, I would say between $10,000 and $12,000 a ticket. And it's something I'm really proud of. And I have actually had to spend over $100,000 to produce an event. So for me, even to have access to that type of a window or that wherewithal, I'm like, holy mother of Johnson, I can't even believe it. So yes, we have produced over 100 events for ourselves, not even customers and clients. Bananas. Okay. Next is our customers and clients over the last couple of years have, I was going to say distributed. No, it's not the right word. Added about $20 million or plus to the economy, to the global economy. And we have a client that has made the Fortune 5000 Inc. 5,000 list twice in the last 3 years alone. Of my private clients, because we have like programs and stuff, but then I have a tiny small group of private clients. All of them grew last year and all of them stayed. And I'm really proud of that because during this pandemic, I had to sharpen my own skills because a lot of our customers and clients are running multiple six-figure businesses. They have brick and mortar. It's a little bit different than a person who's running a digital world online. And so the ability for me to have them grow and get to the next couple 100,000. One of them, like the goal was millions, and we got there. And so it's something that's really big for me. It's big for me all these years later. Okay, next is financials. So this year, or last year, I should say, our company really entertained purchasing a building, renovating a building, and going through this process of building a dream center that we've got in our head for our team and how we want to build one of our companies called Do the Damn Thing Nation. And I really wasn't sure about whether or not I'd be able to take our company's financials and really step to the table to even be part of the conversation, because I've just never done it before in that way. And it was fascinating for me to walk through the process and to be able to own the fact that our numbers were enough. Our numbers were enough to play at the table. Our numbers were enough for contractors and for lenders. Our numbers were enough for sellers, people who were selling properties. Like, it was really fascinating to know that we were enough in the middle of all of the okay, so it was really, really exciting for me to be able to slam our financials on the table and go, yeah, no, okay, I didn't do that. But I was definitely like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. All right, next. Really quickly, is this useful? Is anyone even watching this? It's okay. I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this 100% for myself. That's exactly why I'm doing it. Why should anyone trust us or anything I have to say? This is, I guess, the list. All right, here we go. So I made my first 6 figures by waking up every single day and knocking physically in my city on 44 doors a day. I used to knock on 200 doors a week, roughly 700 to maybe 1,000 doors a month, and that's how I made 6 figures. I am not like any of these cool people who just created these online courses and funnels and clicked a bunch of times on the internet and hoo-ha and created webhooks and blah, blah, blah. No, that is not me. I actually went and did this manual work, hard labor, and I sweated every day as I got through it. I cried half of the week as my feet hurt, and mentally I was tired of being thrown out of buildings and the police called on me and all of the above, but I kept doing it because I needed to feed my children. So for the person who has ever actually had to continue to walk through pain for years and either embarrassment or shame because you love something or someone so much, that is exactly what I did for Jada and Maya. I knocked on doors until I learned how to make 6 figures. Fast forward, teaching other people how to do the same thing is how I got to 7 figures. And my business partners that I had when I sold my company back in 2014. So my business partners were Xerox Corporation and Hewlett Packard. All right. So, oh my gosh, there's 2 more. Here we go. I thought this was going to be short. I did. I was like, this is going to be short. Okay. So I have built 3 6-figure businesses. A lot of people don't know that I built 3 6-figure businesses and then a 7-figure business simply by knocking on doors. To the person who keeps hearing all of this hoopla about you have to have a course and got to do this thing on the internet and you need to have a digital presence and blah, 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 I say, yes, you got to do some of those things, but I'm still living proof that you really don't have to in order to add a couple $100,000 or to add $100,000. I built all of those businesses off the internet. I didn't even know how to get to the internet, honestly. And in that, a lot of people don't know that I have bought out my competition. I have bought 2, 3 companies, and I'm on my way thinking and considering another one right now. But in my past, I bought 2, 3 companies, I sold a company, and I have had my behind handed to me a gazillion times from getting it wrong until I got it right. That's it. Last but not least, so I think this one is like the most special. And I want to remember today because I never want to forget it. I have accomplished a lot of things, but the truth is that up until this past year, last 2 years, I realized that I knew what I wanted to accomplish and do, but the truth of the matter is that I wanted to dream out loud, or I needed to, or I'm not sure how to actually frame these words, but here's what I know. I have a dream so big right now that it literally excites me morning, noon, and night. It is something that I think about probably with every step of every day right now. And I am proud of the fact that I come from a family of immigrants who could not dream. I come from Winston and Louvain who wanted to dream out loud. And as much as I wanted to write and say, oh, my last one is I'm really grateful because I've mastered, people pay our company anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 to help them grow their business. And that stuff is important to me. But I realized as I was thinking about my last one, it's not as important as this, because there are so many people who bled and cried before me who couldn't dream out loud. They couldn't really have dreams, let alone a big dream. I have a big, audacious, scary, ridiculous, I'm going to wet myself dream that consumes my thinking and my thoughts and all of my energy and my excitement and my fervor. And it is 100% going to Wembley. And I really have to say that being able to hold on to and have and own a dream like that, and then being able to share it with people that love me and I love, I think is the greatest accomplishment that I have ever had. It is far bigger than anything else because I know that I'm responsible. It puts me in a seat of creating a foundation for other people to dream, but to dream out loud and to dream together. And I feel like it is the one thing that the world has not had before. I know that there are ideas around what's possible in small groups and little effort, but I gotta be really honest with you. I have never been able to dream this big, and I have never dreamed this out loud, and I have never allowed love to carry me through the impossible of what doesn't seem possible and what feels ridiculous and what feels or looked like way too much for some people. So that is it. That is my last. It is the ability to dream this big. And my side note to every person who has come before me, every tear that has been dropped on this soil, every blood that has been shared so that I could be a Black woman on US soil and dream, I say thank you. And for every immigrant or sort of immigrant or part-time immigrant or underdog or, I trust me when I say I am going to find you. And then next is I'm going to build this thing big enough for all of us. So that is it. That is my accomplishment, and I'm really excited about it. I guess if you have any questions about any of the random things I said, I go, woohoo! I'm also going to say happy birthday to me. I'm also going to say hashtag Wembley. And then I'm going to say thank you so much for listening this long to what I have accomplished in the Fun Facts Challenge. And I'm going to go ahead and challenge the next person. Love you. Thank you. Bye.